Log on, everybody. Webisode 26. Closing in on the 30-day challenge of doing 30 webisodes, one a day for daily life. I thought I'd raise the power finger, did you? No. So lots of stuff to do today. Never run out of things to say, so I'm sure this will keep going for a while. We're gonna reevaluate based on all your suggestions. Thank you for your suggestions, by the way. I'm getting a lot of them. All good. No, none of this. All this. Just varying degrees of this. Some this, but never this. Which is this. Interesting news, sad news, Sesame Street. I just felt like I had to talk about this. Usually I don't talk about things of the day, but being a nerd, before I get to the things I have to get to today, which is of course editing this for you, and then getting to a couple big auditions that I have later on. A little bit of this. So Sesame Street, they're letting 3 of the original cast members go, and that is Louis, the handyman, and Gordon, the science teacher, and Bob. They're letting Bob go. How could you fire Bob? Oh, you know, it's always sad to say goodbye to friends. So bye Louis, and bye Gordon, and bye Bob. I was sitting down with my pen and my coffee this morning, and I was trying to think of what some of my first fandoms were. In chronological terms, my first favorite fandoms were, in order, Bugs Bunny, of course, is when I found out that one guy, Mel Blanc, did all the voices. That's what got me into voiceovers for cartoons, which I don't know if you know, but I do that. I said do.
Oh, carrots hard to find, you get a dozen for a dime, it's magic. Before a song begins, they roast and I hear violins, it's magic. Why do I kid myself? Other loves that I have are all really few.
That was my first idol, was Mel Blanc. That is absolutely, hands down, for sure. Sorry, but I digress. Then I used to watch at the same time Sesame Street, which is what brings me to today. So technically, Jim Henson was my second favorite idol. And I actually studied some puppeteering here in Vancouver. I was honored to study under some of the people that worked at Jim Henson Studios doing puppeteering. Oh, hang on, okay, and they gave me, this is what you learn when you're doing puppeteering, they give you this, which is just basically 2 ping pong balls cut and glued together to the light, you know, the light one, with drawn on things, and then they cut little holes in the bottom there, and then they run this elasticy thing, and you put it on your hand, and all of a sudden, yay! And they just want to see if you have the coordination to, you get the idea. To have your mouth and your hand move in conjunction with one another. So yeah, so Bugs Bunny was my first. And then, of course, Sesame Street was my second. It wasn't until I saw The Muppet Show that I started to really love Jim Henson's work.
To introduce our guest star, that's what it's time to do. So it really makes me happy to introduce to you.
And Frank Oz, of course. Oh my gosh, you know. Hey, Froggy baby! This is your old pal Grover. You know, I love that. My third favorite is probably Sherlock Holmes. I used to go and visit my grandma Blanche. My mom was very young when she had me. She was 15, right? Wow, things kids got up to back then. So I lived with my grandma and grandpa, Bill and Blanche, with my mom for the first couple of years. Mom married, and then I would go back on the weekends and I'd sit on the shag carpet and I'd watch the big floor mount wooden television, and I'd sit and I'd watch Sherlock Holmes, well, Bugs Bunny and Sesame Street, but I'd watch Sherlock Holmes in the afternoon. I loved Sherlock Holmes. That's with Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bush. That was my first foray into the world of Sherlock. And then it was, I used to watch Creature Feature. It was horror films in the afternoons. I used to love that. So horror films, that was my next favorite, like Dracula and Peter Lorre and Boris Karloff and all those, you know, the originals. And then probably Monty Python. When I was homesick, I'd fake getting sick and I'd stay home and I'd watch TV. I had basically a basement suite all to myself since I was 11. There was a pool table and basically I lived in a bar. My parents built like a bar in their basement with a big TV and a pool table and like a real working, functioning bar. So I would just spend a lot of time alone. Gee, how times have changed. Anyway, I loved Monty Python, which is why I get a lot of my silly humour from there, don't I? Oh yes! I have other ones, but those today I just wanted to focus on these, just to let you know, in case you're wondering, what some of my first favorite things are. So I have a lot of things I got to get to today. I'm gonna go and edit this together, and bid you adieu until I see you anew for episode 27. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Thanks for showing your support. Dusty Cat, John Bailey, Chrissy Howe, thank you for all your comments. Everybody. Oh, and it was great. I talked to a lot of my friends I haven't talked to in a long time on not Skype actually, a new program that it's new for me anyway, and I think it's much better than Skype. It's called Discord. If you haven't used it, use it. It's awesome. They have different rooms and different areas and there's a dark feature and a light feature. So I talked to a lot of some of the original team members from the original fan-built fan chat. It was really great. It's like, you know, revisiting old friends. So Carbon Double and Snap Eye and Corey and Fluttertree and Amy and everybody. Thank you so much for sitting and chatting with me last night. Great to see you. Big shout out to you and big shout out to you. So talk to you in episode 27. So until then, see you later!
Wrong with this show? What? It's the theater. What's wrong with it? The seats face the stage.